Right, well, I started in 1981. Remember it well because I was doing the census collection at the same time. So April the 5th, 1981. And I started there as a helper. Um, it still had that very much of a stigma of a mental hospital. And I'd never done anything really with mental health before, but I'd been a teacher, but not with mental health patients at all. So I was a bit dubious about going for the interview, I must admit. But I got the job, and along with another girl who started at the same time as me, we sort of held each other's hands for the first few months. And I started then in the industrial therapy unit, which is quite near to where the church is. And it was very much a working environment, and it was targeted really at the long stay patients, those that had been there for many years. They had a little bit of pay for what they did, but only really just enough to buy some cigarettes, and and that's about it. And of course they all smoked. And cigarettes were easily accessible in the canteen, so they would come to work to get the money to go and get the cigarettes, basically. But some of them are really, really good workers, and we had contracts there. And they ranged from stamping all the prescription books for all the doctors in Dyfed, which was quite time consuming, and you had to be very particular about it. So, there were some patients who could cope with that and others who couldn't. Apart from which there was a security issue with that, so we had to be really careful to count all the books that we had so that none of them disappeared with a doctor's name on it, So that was a really good contract. And another one was organising the X-ray folders, folding them up in the correct manner, packing them, sending them off to Morriston Hospital. So they paid us for that job. We used to assemble hinges for Woolworths for their jewellery boxes. That was a very fine work, really, fiddly jobs to do. So there again, people with poor sight couldn't manage that. So very much a mixture of jobs, filling paint boxes for Woolworths as well with the right colours. So my role there really was supervision of the patients, that they did the jobs properly and made sure they had their pay on time, and if they didn't show up for work, chase them up really with the ward staff. But really mostly they enjoyed working there because it was quite a relaxed atmosphere, and we had a very good porter who used to play the piano if anybody got a bit stressed. So he had been a piano teacher, and everybody would have a little sing-song, and so it really was a very nice environment to work in. We were allowed some money to buy some equipment, and we bought a cement mixer, I remember. And I had one very good patient who stuck with me day in, day out. He was an absolute treasure, very strong man. So he and I used to go off and make garden ornaments and pots and what have you, and sell them to the staff, and that was a good money spinner as well. We weren't too popular when we emptied the cement mixer down the drains. The first time we used it. The working staff were not happy with us. But apart from our industrial therapy, there was also a CSSD unit where they did the packages for operating theatres in Glangwili. That again was they had to be really careful that everything was in each pack, so there was a lot of supervision attached to that. We also had the OT department, which had craft room, carpentry, what else was there? Carpentry. What else was there? Kitchen for assessments, for kitchen work. And then there were other little units based around the hospital, one upstairs for people who couldn't get down the stairs to us. So the industrial therapy was quite a big part of the hospital, really. Also a working party in the grounds. And the grounds used to be kept immaculately. They were supervised by a member of staff, and always immaculate, never any leaves lying around unnecessarily in unsafe places. So it was a really good introduction to the work in St David's Hospital. You got to know the staff and you got to know the patients very well. But St David's Hospital, it was a community, and it was a wonderful community to work in. As I say, the grounds were always immaculate. They used to have a ball at Christmas, for the staff. They had a patients' activity team. And they went around the wards entertaining, basically. So there was always something for the patients to do. And really, yes, I did enjoy my time there. I really enjoyed working there. The fact that my children wouldn't wind the windows down if they were outside in the car because they thought, oh, mental health. You know, but actually there was none of that. It was really, really lovely place to work. So I was very glad I did go for my interview. And in fact, I enjoyed it much more than teaching.